In primetime news this evening, water restrictions now in effect in sections of St. Andrew.
Help coming for farmers who lost crops and livestock in bushfire.
And later, Jamaica and Ghana to strengthen ties through trade, tourism and healthcare. Good evening and welcome to Primetime News. A special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. I'm Janella Precious.
And I'm Kelisha Williams. Now, Andrea Chisholm is here with a preview of what's to come in the business day.
Well, Kelisha, if you've been monitoring what has been happening over the weekend, you would have recognized that there has been a big economic boost out west. Why? Dream Weekend. I'll have that and more later in the business day.
And the only man, this is
Yes.
unprecedented, well, not unprecedented really, but the only man among such beautiful women is here. Ricardo Chambers has a preview of what's coming up in sports.
Yeah, thanks, Janella. Sounds pretty good to me. I tell you what, from the Commonwealth Games to the CAC Games, track and field started today. Remember, 18 medals from track and field at the Commonwealth Games. Well, the medal hunt starts tonight, including in the 100 finals. Boaji and Krumi on the men's side is already there. Crystal Slowly on the women's side is there. Let's see how they'll do. We'll have it in Primetime Sports Monday.
Thank you, Irene. Looking forward to that. There's also sports commentary, E-Prime, and weather in this newscast. But before the break, the feedback question.
And Kelisha, this evening we are asking what has been your experience interacting with the traffic police.
You can share comments online, facebook.com/television Jamaica, and post on X at TVJ News Center.
So please stay with us. Primetime News returns after this break. Welcome back to Primetime News.
Such a welcome to folks on onespotmedia.com.
First up this evening, the National Water Commission, NWC, has implemented water restrictions for sections of Kingston and St. Andrew served by the Mona and Hope Water Supply Networks effective today.
The NWC says the measures have become necessary because of significantly reduced inflows to the Mona Reservoir, which is now at just over 58% capacity following the prolonged dry spell.
The commission says forecasts Blasts of continued hot and below normal rainfall through September and October have made the restrictions necessary to safeguard supplies.
Customers are being urged to conserve water and use stored supplies responsibly while the regulations remain in effect.
Now, no cash payments for trucked water. That advisory from the NWC as customers will see increased trucking in response to the ongoing drought.
The NWC also pointed to water safety concerns during this time as it ramps up efforts to ensure trucks are fit to carry the commodity.
Here's Romardo Lyons with that report.
Less watering pipes, more trucks bringing the well-needed commodity to your door. But will it come with a receipt? No money up front for water. Therefore, a driver should not charge any customer for such. The National Water Commission reiterated the existing conditions.
We do not collect cash from you when we deliver water, and I want that to be understood. All right? We do not collect cash when we deliver water. If there is a cost for the water delivered, it is applied to your bill. As we move on, I want to just pause to encourage us to fix the leaks where necessary or to report the leaks where they are not within your compound.
Several wells have been rehabilitated to supply the demand. Two of such in the corporate area, the Cavaliers Well and the Beverly Hills Well. The NWC says this,
which gives us an additional 1.2 to 1.5 million gallons. Very, very precious volume at a time like this. And so these systems are now being brought on board to complement the demand that is on the network.
Since 1995, the Water Resources Authority has been responsible for the management of water resources locally under law. Managing Director Peter Clark says the quality of water being trucked must be maintained at a particular standard. He pointed to the role of the Health Ministry.
There have always been water quality concerns, but the Ministry of Health stepped in 2 years ago and they have developed water trucking guidelines. So that has allayed a lot of the concerns about trucking, and the National Water Commission themselves, who have been a part of the major source of water that truckers would get water from loading bays, they have their own regime to guarantee, to secure the quality of the water that's being delivered and to guarantee that what is being delivered by trucking, not only by the Water Commission, but by the other truckers who purchase water from them, that it is of a standard and quality that is good and fit for the public.
The NWC on the vetting process.
The persons, whether in-house team, NWC trucks, or the contractors, have to be certified. The trucker and also the trucks themselves are tested and sterilized and retested at intervals to ensure that water is of the utmost quality to you.
The Health Ministry has emphasized that unsafe water can lead to diarrhea diseases and other waterborne illnesses. So what about others? Those truckers not attached to the NWC and are capitalizing on the drought.
There are some persons who will freelance during this time when there is a gap and a market for it. We ask you to check with either the NWC or the Ministry of Health to verify if your trucker has a certified unit delivering water to you.
In 2024, amid the water crisis in Westmoreland, the Health Department sought to clamp down on illegal water truck operators who were found to be trucking without a food handler's permit and a sanitizing certificate. At the time, there were reports residents were being charged $40,000 for a truckload of water. Romardo Lyons, TVJ News.
Up in flames, farmers and residents of Little Park District in Pedro Plain, St. Elizabeth are counting millions in losses after a major bushfire leveled farms and damaged houses at the weekend. Krista Campbell has the details.
An entire field of melons and other crops burnt to ashes in Little Park District, Pedro Plains, St. Elizabeth. Farmers say they've also lost goats in the aftermath of what they describe as a huge bushfire that swallowed acres of farmlands. The fire started sometime after 4 o'clock Friday evening, putting nearby houses and residents smack in the middle of danger.
Smell it first, for the breeze is so strong. And then Mr. Todd, Bedrin Jeff say fire, and Jeff said, Wally, yes, sit up as a boy. And when you ride and drive and go on the road, so the fire start. And in a quick second, it don't so.
They have a call me and tell me to run out of the house and something because I hang out some clothes on the line and then I see the smoke and then after that the fire starts, so I have to run go take up the clothes them off of the line and then run, grab some of my things them and run go down there.
We have to grab water and a chop and then out you.
Run too?
Yes, I'm run through this with some clothes. I want to see me run with my clothes them yesterday. And my 3 baby in my hand. Yes. I say I run yesterday, I panic, I chimba like a leaf.
My mother, 93-year-old, and the fire went so close that we have to lift her up like a baby and we have to take her out.
Units from the Black River, Junction and Santa Cruz fire stations responded and put out the fire Friday night, but the damage has been significant.
We lose over 50 or 60 acres of farming land with drip hose, jump, water jump, grass we take up, and you know grass is very expensive, so you know that is a big loss for we.
So set back at least 80% of we farming gone for yourself. As you see it, for the weather rough already. Basically enough of them are growing a truck, we have to chuck all water and something, buy water and something. For the irrigation system, I don't know about them.
We now recover from the storm all now because to be honest, we don't get no assistant and we are chair for ourselves. It's just like we are chair for right now and boy this year affect we badly again. So it went through right back on our face.
Firefighters are yet to confirm exactly what caused the blaze, but they have been repeating calls for persons to be careful lighting fires during these dry, windy times. Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Meanwhile, Agriculture Minister Floyd Green says preliminary assessment of the fire is that close to 24 farmers have been affected. The fire consumed roughly 50 hectares of land. Minister Green, who was speaking at the Denby Agricultural Show in Clarendon, says help is on the way.
The RADA team has already been dispatched. They have gone, they have already taken note of the losses of the farmers. We already recognize that most of the farmers lost permanent secondary storage tanks. About 20 storage tanks we've already accounted for that have been lost. A lot of them lost grass that they were preparing for mulch. Some of them lost strip holes. I want to assure the farmers that help is on its way. And I think they know by now when we have issues of that nature, we will support the farmers to get back up and running as quickly as possible.
Daytime parties are now a staple of Jamaica's entertainment scene, but this evening we hear from stakeholders about whether that could be at risk due to increased temperatures. We have the details in this report.
Jamaicans' appetite for daytime entertainment events is growing. Stakeholders say the benefits of day events such as brunches outweigh nighttime parties.
More parties are moving to the daytime. It's just more practical, you know. It affects people's lives less in terms of the noise, and also it allows you to, you know, engage more with different type of audience.
Yeah, I think they bring out a lot of people because it's daytime, you know, you ain't got to worry about too much stuff. You can have fun, and then you can still be home when it's time to go to bed.
But there is an emerging risk. Jamaica is experiencing some of its hottest days on record. People who go to these events are at risk of heat-related issues such as heat stress. We observed the different methods partygoers use to stay cool, from hats with built-in fans to cardboard fans or tiny paper fans and electrical fans.
You gotta make sure you have a good fan, you charge the fan. As far as the makeup for the ladies, you need a good setting powder and hydration.
The heat at day events has also given rise to new business ventures. Barry Groves operates Breezeland Jamaica and rents fans to patrons at $4,000 Jamaican dollars each.
Because of the changes in the climate and so forth, unfortunately, the heat is a problem, and we saw that as an opportunity to solve that problem for patrons who still want to enjoy themselves in the day by offering them a cooling solution.
People actually rent it and like it?
Yes, people are, the women especially. You know, most women nowadays, they want to keep them face, they want to keep them, you know, them face beat while them out and them taking them pictures. And this is a perfect solution for it.
Tariq is a fitness instructor. He shared some simple tips to beat the heat at daytime entertainment events.
When you go in events that's in the day like these nice premium events, make sure you drink a lot of water. But I normally do when I come out, I put sunscreen. So I'm going to lay the first sunscreen. If you're brown like me, put on your sunscreen, people, rub down your body with sunscreen.
Many of these daytime events start at 2 p.m. So for this physical trainer, Stamina and hydration are also key.
You want to use up your cardio machine and you don't forget your strength training. So if you have your classes, them are your gyms, then make sure you go your work, make sure you get your aerobics classes. One thing about fitness 24/7, when you do them in the classes, guys, it builds up the stamina if you can indoor longer. It is hot, that is one of the reasons you want to drink more water. Two, you don't want so much sugary beverages in your system. Nothing wrong with having a little dibble in there, but be moderate with the sugar intake. So most of the time, fun time like these people just drink and put on the weight, But at the same time, for just your health reasons, you want to put in water if you can flush out that through naturally through your body.
Dwayne Anderson, TVJ News.
And still to come this evening, Transport Minister announces comprehensive review of the Road Traffic Act. And in business news, small businesses to get greater access to digital tools. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, continuing the news. Jamaica is deepening its relationship with Ghana through trade, healthcare, disaster response and tourism. President of Ghana today announced that the renewed partnership could see a free trade agreement between Jamaica and Ghana as early as 2027. Plans for a direct flight from Montego Bay to Accra, Ghana are also being intensified. The announcements were made today during a press conference at King's House following the official state visit of the President of Ghana. The pomp and pageantry to mark the arrival of the President of Ghana, what's happening between Jamaica, tourism, healthcare and investment, the top priorities. First, an announcement by President Mahama.
One of the things that I would champion when I become AU chair next year, Ghana is assuming the chair of the African Union next year, is to expand the remit of the African Continental Free Trade Area to include the Caribbean.
This means Jamaica could enter the African free trade market, which would allow the island to trade goods duty-free and tariff-free.
That's a 1.4 billion population market, and that also is a 1.3 trillion GDP economy. And so we can plug the Caribbean in.
By potentially connecting our ports, we could give exporters and investors on both sides of the Atlantic a more efficient route to new markets. We can make it easier for our Ghanaian exporter to reach the Caribbean and the Americas, and easier for a Jamaican exporter to reach Africa.
From trading goods to trading services, Ghana supplied military personnel to Jamaica in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, and in May, the island signed a 4-year bilateral agreement with Ghana to temporarily recruit about 400 nurses and doctors after the Cuban agreement ended. Now, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness said strong focus is also being placed on tourism.
Because the market in Africa is so huge, and in Ghana is significant as well. We have focused primarily on, from a tourism perspective, trade and services, heavily on North American and European markets, of late South American markets. But now we have to turn our attention to the African continent, where there is a growing middle class who wants to travel, who wants to experience the world, and who could feel right at home and comfortable right here in Jamaica.
And so both countries are now working to ensure there will soon be straight flights from Accra, Ghana to Montego Bay, Jamaica in the near future.
In the meantime, the parliamentary opposition is calling on the government to explain why Jamaica did not publicly co-sponsor a landmark United Nations resolution on reparatory justice despite voting in favor of it. The call comes as Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama visits Jamaica for the Emancipation and Independence celebrations. PNP chairperson Dr. Angela Brown-Burke says Jamaicans deserve a full account of the country's role in the March 2026 resolution, which recognized the transatlantic slave trade and chattel slavery as crimes against humanity. The opposition is urging the government to use President Mahama's visit to clarify Jamaica's position and reaffirm its leadership in the global reparations movement.
The police continue to come under pressure for their approach to issuing traffic tickets, prompting a review of the Road Traffic Act. Transport Minister Darrell Vass says their preliminary report is due in September. Jamila Maitland reports.
The Transport Ministry says a dedicated working team comprising all relevant ministries and agencies has been tasked to review the implementation of the Road Traffic Act, including issues concerning outstanding traffic tickets, the demerit point system, and the legal and policy implications of any proposed amendments.
So September, we'll have a preliminary report, which I will share as to where we are.
Motorists have been complaining about inconsistencies in the enforcement of the Road Traffic Act. It relates to eating and or drinking and driving, to having one hand on the steering wheel, the offense, no proper control on the vehicle whilst operating. Minister Vass said the review will also address these issues.
All of this is being addressed. It's a comprehensive review of the Road Traffic Act and the demerit system. And as I said in the release, we have a multi-agency, multi-ministry, national security, transport, and justice, along with all the agencies involved.
Motorists contend that the Road Traffic Act is exploitative. According to the 2026-2027 budget, the Ministry of National Security intends to collect $1 billion in road traffic fines between April 1, 2026 and March 31, 2027. It represents a 120% increase compared to the fiscal year 2025-2026, which ended March 31, when the ministry set out to collect $450 million in traffic fines. Both the judiciary and the Jamaica Constabulary Force have rejected accusations of collusion. Chief Justice Brian Sykes said the courts are not revenue collecting agencies. Minister Vaz says there is a real issue surrounding road safety. The Island Traffic Authority says as of August 3, Jamaica recorded 164 fatal crashes, resulting in the loss of 189 lives. Although an 18% reduction compared to the similar period in 2025, the ministry says the figures are a sobering reminder that the Road Traffic Act is first and foremost about saving lives. It says any decisions arriving from the review must strike the appropriate balance between legal certainty and the government's unwavering commitment to protecting all who use the roads. Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
And we go to an item of news just coming in. A policeman was found dead at the Maypen police station this afternoon. The police constable was discovered dressed in his uniform in an office at the rear of the building. It appears he'd been dead for some time. Now, he was assigned to the transport department. Sources tell TVJ News that the scene is currently being processed and that the police commissioner has been briefed. TVJ News understands that counseling is being arranged for his colleagues at the headquarters for the Clarendon Police. And we'll have more details on this developing story in subsequent newscasts.
There's a call for greater technology to be used in agriculture, even as the Prime Minister commends small farmers in particular for treating their trade as a science and adapting to new techniques. He was speaking at the close of the Denby Agricultural Show in Clarendon on the weekend. Krista Campbell reports.
After years of encouraging more young people and women to take up farming, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says he's pleased with the improvements he's been seeing.
It is not a displacement. It is an expansion, a broadening, a diversification in agriculture. And it would suggest to me that what we are seeing is the introduction of greater management in agriculture, because you know it is. The women are better managers of our household.
On the final day of the annual Denby Agricultural Show in Clarendon on Sunday, Dr. Holness also commended the move towards greater use of technology, especially among small farmers.
More people are asking for soil tests to be done, because once they begin to understand the kind of soil that they have, then they can properly select the kind of plants that they should grow. And they don't need to be a big farmer to get their soil tested. Any farmer can get their soil tested.
And as Jamaica grapples with growing agricultural problems, including new pests, crop insurance, and resilience, the Prime Minister says those solutions must come from within. And so he's commending an increased use of research in agriculture.
For example, I saw the case team doing a research in how to reduce methane in feed for ruminants. That is good for the environment in terms of climate change, but it also increases the growth of the ruminants. And this is what I want to see more of in agriculture.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.
Now, coming up in this newscast, U.S. reports first 2 deaths linked to cyclospora outbreak. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. We're continuing the news. A young Jamaican is preparing to take her place on the global stage, representing the island in a mission aimed at empowering the next generation of female scientists and space explorers. Yannick Williams has the details in this evening's edition of The Ray of Hope.
Ray of Hope, brought to you by
Quartz has what you need to make home yours. Easy payment plans using Quartz Ready Finance. Quartz, make home yours.
For many young girls, the stars are something to admire. But for Alia Reid, they represent endless possibilities. She has been selected to represent Jamaica in Mission Shaktisat Phase 2, the world's first all-girls satellite mission, bringing together more than 12,000 participants from 108 countries. The program, to be held in India from August 22 to 31, is designed to inspire young women to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, better known as STEM. Mission Shaktisat is built on the belief that education creates opportunity, empowerment builds confidence, and exploration shapes the future. But for Alia, the opportunity is about more than personal achievement.
I've been interested in space since as young as I can remember. It was the only thing that I was really interested in growing up. There were a lot of fields that were presented to me, for example, law, medicine, geophysical jobs. None of them really interested me as space did. It captivated me. I always knew that I wanted to work in the space industry. I just didn't really know what part exactly. And when I did the course, it solidified that I wanted to be an aerospace engineer. I want to build more satellites and more rockets like this in my future.
With a dream of hopefully building satellites one day, this mission is about showing young girls that they too can dream beyond the limits of what they see today and one day become scientists, engineers, and innovators helping to shape humanity's future.
My main goal right now is to ensure that the knowledge or the information that was given to me during the course, I'm making sure that I study that adequately so that when I actually go there, I know what I'm doing and to mitigate human error risks.
The mission will also expose participants to India's scientific advancements while celebrating cultural exchange and international collaboration.
One of my main goals for going there is to actually form long-term bonds with the people that I meet and some of the experts so that they can guide me going into industry in the future.
As Jamaica's flag joins those of more than 100 nations, Alia hopes her journey will inspire others to believe that no dream is too big. Because sometimes reaching for the stars begins with believing you belong among them.
I'm actually really excited because this is my first step or a major step of me even entering my dream industry. Being this knowledge, I can take it further. I can take it further to apply it to other missions or other things related to aerospace that I'm a part of, actually.
A proud moment for Jamaica and a reminder that the next great discovery could begin with the dream of a young girl. With your Ray of Hope, I'm Yannick Williams.
Ray of Hope, brought to you by
Quartz has what you need to make home yours. Easy payment plans using Quartz Ready Finance. Quartz, make home yours.
Well done, Alia. It's now time for the responses from our friends on social media. To this question, what has been your experience interacting with the traffic police? The first comment is from Audley Phillip. Officers' communication style, drivers' behavior, and local accountability standards all need to be improved. Jonathan Pinnock, I don't interact with them because I don't break the law. Well, good for you, Jonathan. And Romando, hustling ton up. Okay. Princess Charlotte, reasonably yesterday and helpful. Okay. We'll keep those comments coming to this question. What has been your experience interacting with traffic police? And you can share those comments on facebook.com/Television Jamaica and post on X at TVJ News Center. The business day and news from overseas are after the break. Please stay with us.
Primetime.